Welcome back to the overtime section. We can really let our hair down and kind of let things flow. I want to ask you real quick, tell me about the College Democrats and what's the Twitter handle?
Sure. It's going to be at CDMO, College Democrats
Cool.
Missouri.
How can people get involved? Just go to the Twitter and they'll figure it out from there?
Yes, or look us up on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Send us a message. We're happy to get you involved.
Cool. How do you find the College Republicans on Twitter?
Yeah, so you can find us at Missouri CR, MOCR, MOCR, all of those things. Will find us if you search all of those things on Twitter. Missouri Federation of College Republicans on Facebook, missouri.crnc.org for our website. We've got a lot of good stuff up on
And you can get involved in any campaign you want through you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and any campus that you want to.
They'll reach the Jake Buxton. They'll be able to contact you. Absolutely outstanding. I want to talk real quick about the down ballot races. Give me the reason why Mike Parson can win against Russ Carnahan, legacy candidate.
I think Mike Parson represents Missouri very well. I think that he proved that in the primary. I think that, traveling the state with the message that he has, with the values that he has, with the positive politics, with all of that message, I think it just resonated with people very well. We're very excited about Mike Parson, and that's why I think he can win.
I mean, I think I would say objectively he starts with a disadvantage in money, name ID. It's very hard to be the legacy candidate in Missouri.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that Mike Parson does, though, is first principles. Missouri Republicans, if you're going to win statewide, you got to run very strong in rural outstate Missouri, and I think that Mike Parson is a candidate who's tailor-made to do that. He also has the added benefit of running against Russ Carnahan, a guy who really would be absolutely. You simply cannot make the argument that Russ Carnahan would be where he is today were it not for the fact that his last name is Carnahan.
Jeff Mazur, Russ Carnahan runs out the clock and wins, you think?
Yeah, I think he wins. I think he has his history in elected office is obviously in the St. Louis area when he served in Congress, but his family's history obviously has deep roots in rural Missouri in the central part of the state, and I think that resonates in his campaign and the sort of campaign he'll run where he's comfortable doing those things that he can. I don't expect Mike Parson to simply run away in the rural portions of the state from Russ Carnahan.
Jim Lewis, I actually think it's going to be interesting to watch the second part of Russ Carnahan's political career. You think he wins?
I do. I think, aside from Koster, he has the best chance of our statewide candidates of winning.
So why are all those things not true about Jay Ashcroft?
No, I mean, I think that there's every reason to believe that they are true about Jay Ashcroft. I think that he comes into the general election with a lot of momentum, and say what you will about the guy, but he ran a strong primary campaign, and it remains to be seen that anybody's going to put up much of a fight on the Democrat ticket in that race.
Jim Lewis, is that a race where college Democrats get involved and help Robin Smith? I mean, obviously, for all the reasons you have to say Russ Carnahan's a good candidate, so is Jay Ashcroft.
Right. I mean, no doubt there are strong candidates on both sides this cycle, and of course, we want to get involved in all the races. We don't want to leave anyone uncontested.
Feel good about Jay Ashcroft?
Yeah, I do feel good about Jay Ashcroft. I like Jay Ashcroft. He's a good guy. I think he's best suited for the job. I think the thing with Jay Ashcroft is that he is more than just a name, and he's a genuine person. I think he's going to fill the office well. I
found Jay Ashcroft to be one of the nicest people in politics. If my dad was the former U.S. Attorney General, he probably couldn't even be around me.
Great guy. He's going to win it running away.
Let's talk real quick about the AG race. Going to be interesting. I think it's going to be close. I think that both are very good candidates. Interesting race. I would say, maybe give Holly the slight edge.
I think that's probably right. I think he brings a very impressive and interesting resume.
You know Washington better than most people on this show. The same folks that kicked in for him in the primary, are they back in the general election?
They're in, and that was really the secret to his beating Schaefer in the primary. I think he ran.
They knew they were to get him twice.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there have been a whole lot of ideological center-right conservatives in Washington, D.C. and nationally who have been watching Josh Hawley for a long time and are very excited about the possibility of making him Missouri's next Attorney General, and they are not going to leave this fight.
Have you seen that? Have you seen his campaign slow down?
With Hawley?
With Hawley, yeah.
No. I mean, I think Josh Hawley, I totally agree with what was just said. I mean,
he's a good candidate, though.
He is a fantastic candidate, and I think he's got a lot of momentum. We're very excited to support him. I think that he's really
Can we talk, Scott, for a moment about that primary on the Democrat side, though? I mean, I'd love to get the Democrats' perspective on this one, because I absolutely thought that Zimmerman, with the better funding, was going to absolutely run away with this thing, and I don't know how Hensley won the thing, frankly.
Greg asked the question, Jeff. What do you think?
Both good candidates. I think in the end, Jake wasn't able to run up the sort of margins that he needed in St. Louis County and hold down the margins in the Kansas City area that he needed in order to win the race. I think, these things are hard to poll. This stuff is not precise, and it looked like Jake going into the race was going to win based on the polling and based on the money. But both were very strong candidates. I think Teresa Hensley is is going to be a tremendous general election candidate. And, you know, she brings some of the real kind of Missouri into this race in a way that I think Josh Hawley, who just kind of, you know, appeared out of nowhere with backing from Washington, can't really do. So I think that she's a strong candidate in the general.
Jimmy Loops, it is interesting to have Republicans rail against the coast in Washington, but two of their biggest candidates get their money from the coast in Washington.
Well, I mean, I think that goes back to the issue of money in politics and how we really need reform in Missouri. One of the only states without campaign contribution limits, and that needs to change.
That was interesting. Andrew Koenig talked about transparency. I wonder if he'll be able to convince his nominee for governor about the need for transparency.
Hey, I certainly hope so. I think this is one bipartisan issue that is very, very important to our state.
Teresa Inslee, Jake Zimmerman, good candidate, good guy. Probably feel a little more confident being a woman, having prosecutorial experience going into the general, right?
Yeah, you know, she's a similar profile of Claire McCaskill, a prosecutor from West.
She's going to hit him with a hind?
I think she's going to hit him with the hind.
Last take, the gun bill get overridden, Jeff Mazur. It's Missouri.
It is Missouri. So we have a lot of folks in the legislature talk about the importance of supporting law enforcement and police, and we're going to see they're going to have a vote where they can choose to stand with law enforcement who wants to see this veto upheld, or they can go in a different direction. So we'll see
Interesting
where it
take.
goes.
Do they override the gun bill?
You know, I think that it's going to be tough. We'll see in veto session.
Do you override the gun bill? You going to be down there for it?
Oh, we're going to be down there in
Nice.
force. We've got half the
Missouri going to rise up and override it?
Well, I'm telling you, I do think they will, and I think that there's a lot of support for it around the state. And from the forums that I've been going to, I've been hearing support, even from law enforcement, even from official stances, I know. But I mean, sheriffs that I've been talking to are in support. It's an omnibus bill, so everyone's going to have disagreements on parts of it, but everyone is in support of the general idea.
Greg Keller, is this a Missouri versus Missouri matchup?
Yeah, God willing, this thing is going to pass, and they're going to sustain the veto override. You know, every single time that we allow law-abiding citizens to keep their Second Amendment rights, Missouri becomes a safer place.
Interesting. Hit him with a hind, and we'll do until next week of a baba booey to you all.